everybody, welcome to the tutorial for the recipe box holder that I have here. This is a completed one that I already have done. I will just be going through a brief tutorial for it. I will have the cutting file online for you to download. It'll have it so that all you have to do is just cut around. It'll have one for chipboard. It'll also have one for all the external cover pages for you. This one's already been decorated, so this is a completed project. I already went through and I have chipboard here. It is cut. It is also laid out. The cutting file will be labeled for you so that all you have to do is cut the chipboard and label it. It'll also have a joints page here for you. For my adhesive, I prefer to use score tape. For this project, I am using the 1/2 inch score tape. It is just the easiest one to use. And when I do my joints, all my joints are 1.5 inch wide. So I just go through and I used 8.5 by 11 inch paper, and on that I just cut the page 1.5 inch every one, and then that has to be scored in half. So every 3/4 inch I just score it, and then that will create my joint. Go ahead and put your score tape down each one, and then you can measure them off, and I also will tell you how many of each you need on there. So get that all laid out before you even start this. It'll help save a lot of time. I also prefer to miter these pages. It just makes it lay it out. Mitering is not an exact science. You just kind of go through and cut just a little bit off of each one. Again, I've pre-done a lot of this to help out, make this video just a little bit shorter for everybody. I don't know about you, but sometimes these videos, when they're an hour and a half long, just get a bit long for me. So to make this start, I'm going to start with the bottom first. And we're going to use this 1.5 by 6.5, and I've already scored it down the center. I'm going to just take my bone folder here, give it a nice little score, and I'm going to need 2 of these to start with. Again, on one of the pages I do tell you exactly how many you'll need of each, so you can have it all pre-done. On the bottom, you will want to just lay it on the center line and line it up with the edges and make sure it adheres. You'll do this again on the other side that is also 6.5 inches long. Again, you'll want to line it up down the center line. I've made a few of these. This is kind of the way that I found it easiest, was to just fold it over. And I believe the bottom was 3 inches. So this is scored, so find that nice score line, fold on that score line, fold on that score line. Since this is 3 inches, it's gonna go fit nicely on there with one of the 3 inch pieces, and we'll fit this on here. Again, do the other side. So now I'm going to take the back. I'm going to take this off, and the way that I prefer to do these, everyone will have their own method, but the way I prefer to do it is I set it in here straight up and down, and I take this back and I line it up to it. The left is going to go on the left hand side, and I'm going to do it the exact same way. I stand it up and I bring it up to it. The right is the same exact way. I stand it straight and I bring this up to it. Now for this project, you can honestly use any color of chipboard. It doesn't matter. Sometimes I use black chipboard, sometimes I'll use this natural color chipboard. It's really whatever you have on hand. Your joints can also be any color that you choose. This is one of your 1.5 by 6.5. I'm putting it on the top of the back. This is one of the 1.5 by 4. It's going to go along the edge of the back. And again, the other side. So for this joints page, where I'm discussing the colors, you're going to want the joints page to be any color that you want to contrast your decorative paper. I chose black because I find that black really stands out for my decorative paper. So I'm folding, I just folded the wrong size of course, the 1.5 by 2, that is going to go on the front here. I tend to use a lot of vintage papers and the black just contrasts very nicely. So this front piece is going to go right here where it's labeled front. And this just folds up to it. This just comes, meets at the corners, folds up. This comes, meets at the corners. Let's do this. Close this. Now you're probably wondering why this has a little top on it. So because I told you it didn't matter what color chipboard you did, and I don't want any of my chipboard to actually be showing, this is going to come in and cover that up. So we're going to take another one of these 6.5s and we're going to place it right here over the front. And it just makes it look so nice. You can just take the backing paper of the score tape off, finish folding that over. I'll take one of these 1-inch ones, fold them. These little 1-inch ones come right up here. I actually took both sides off at the same time. I can't hold anything today. Sorry about that. Come right in here. And since these are so little, I just went ahead and took them both off at the same time because they just kind of sandwich right over the top here. And this is made 2 3/4. You can see this project comes together quite quickly. Now for the center front, let's take one of these joint papers, and it's going to go over the top here. And it's also going to go on the bottom. We just don't want anything shown. Now you don't have to put this part in if you didn't want to. So this is going to be by 2 inches, and we're actually going to fold them backwards. Okay. You're going to need 4 of these folded backwards. And when you put these on, you're just going to line them up like this. Actually, I apologize, it's not the 2 inch, it's the 1 3/4. I grabbed the wrong one. So this is the 1 3/4. I apologize for that. So it goes on backwards like I was saying. And like I said, you just really want to line this up. So we're giving it a set of wings right now. Let's see if I can get that so you guys can see. Okay, so we're going to go on to the center back now, and I'm going to get the 1.5 by 3 inch. We're going to put one of them on normal. And it goes on just like this. And mine didn't line up perfect, so I'm just going to take it and trim just a little hair off here. Maybe I didn't cut my joint exactly perfect. And then for the back, I know that this is 3 3/4. I'm going to take one of the 1 3/4 that I have left, and it's going to be folded backwards. So I'm going to take it, it's folded backwards, and I'm going to take it just like we've lined up the others, just like this. And again, I'm going to do it just like this. I'm going to line it up just like we've done on the others. And we're going to take, let me measure real quick, one of the 3 3/4. And again, it'll be backwards because that's how we're doing all these center joints. And we're going to line it up backwards. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with this one. And give it a little line it backwards. All right. So I'm going to take that last 1 3/4 that I have here, and it is going to hide this little spot that I've got going on right here that I don't want anybody seeing, and this little tiny 3/4 that I have, we can guess where that's gonna go. You guessed over the top right here? You probably guessed right. So now, we know that this is 6.5. So you can measure to do it exactly in half if that's how you want yours to go, or you can measure it less. You can measure kind of however you want yours to measure out for you. So however you want to measure yours out, this will go in the center, and then you place it directly on this piece. So it's kind of how you want to measure yours out. If you want it exactly center, if you want it off center, whatever you want to be able to put into yours is how you want to align it. Some people like to be able to put it so they can just put a few pens. It really just depends on what you like to put into it. So you want to line it up so it's flat when you do it. Then you adhere. Make sure you take your score tape off both sides. Get that down in there. Next, you would place this into here. This part can get a little bit tricky taking the score tape off. I like to use a little hook to do it sometimes, because you kind of want everything firm against it. So the easiest way to do it is just to get your little hook in here, grab the edge, get your score tape, and just press it against. Same thing on this side. Just like that. So I just like to make sure it's nice and straight. So this is kind of tricky, getting the backing of the score tape off this part. It's really not impossible, it's just a little tricky. Get my little hook in here and get it done. you have the basic construction of the box here. And I don't want to have the video go on and on forever, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. The rest of everything will be on the form so that you can cut out all the decorative pages for it. You will be able to continue decorating the box all on your own. The box is very cute if you leave out this interior too and just leave it as a box. So if you have any questions, you'll be free to contact me. Thank you for watching the tutorial.